In a world where women were silenced before they could speak, where little girls were forced into marriages and widows burned on funeral pyres, one community dared to protect its daughters. This is the story of Ehee, a sacred Newar ritual born from resistance, rooted in love.
Ehei is a very sacred and unique tradition of the Newar community. In our language, Ehei literally means marriage. But it is not marriage to a man. It is a symbolic union between a pre-adolescent girl and the wood apple, which represents the immortal God.
When I was just 12 years old, my parents married me off to a 40-year-old man. He was already married. I was innocent and helpless. I didn't even know what marriage truly meant.
I loved school. I longed to study, to learn, but my family never stood by me. The villagers would say, girls are meant to work, not study. Teach them to cook, not to read. They even believed that if a daughter read the Vedas or the Gita, she would be branded a witch. Those beliefs slammed shut every door I had ever dreamed of walking through.
When my husband died, people blamed me. They whispered that I had eaten my husband, as if my grief was not enough. Every day those words burned more than fire. In their eyes, I was no longer a woman. I was bad luck, a curse. That is what widowhood meant in those days.
But not all girls were left unprotected. Among the Newars, a quiet yet revolutionary tradition emerged. Ehee, the symbolic marriage of a girl to the wood apple fruit, representing Savannah Kumar, the immortal god. In a society where widowhood brought stigma and lifelong suffering, Ehee gave daughters a divine marriage no man could take away. She would never be called a widow because her husband, Savannah Kumar, is immortal. And when her eternal husband lives, she is spared from the cruel practice of sati, even if her earthly husband dies. In this way, Ehee was more than a ritual. It was a shield for a woman's most basic human rights: her right to live, her right to dignity, and her right to be free from inhuman and degrading treatment. The Newar community, in Nepal and in the small pockets of India, such as Sikkim where they live, kept their daughters safe from the inhuman rituals that took so many lives in other parts of the subcontinent. This was not by rebellion in the streets, but by quiet defiance through custom woven deep into their culture.
When my Ehee ceremony was held, I was just 5 or 6 years old.
too young to understand its meaning. But now that I'm grown, I know its real value. Today, I see it as a beautiful shield of protection and empowerment. In our culture, when a girl undergoes this ritual, she can never truly be a widow, even if her earthly husband passes away. This gives us Newar women a unique strength and independence.
Though widowhood no longer carries the same dangers today, and sati is banned, we still honor this tradition. Ehee shows the world that long before laws existed, our ancestors found ways to protect their daughters' dignity.
She fasts. She prays. Her father gives her away in Kanyadan, but not to a man, to the divine, to a protector who never abandons her. The vermilion mark, the astamatrika painted on her forehead, the red-dyed feet, all bind her to a love that lives forever.
Nowadays, we celebrate Ehee as part of our tradition. But long ago, it was more than just a custom. It was a sacred ritual that saved countless girls from cruel practices like sati and the lifelong suffering of widowhood.
From girls who never saw school, to daughters who now code, teach, lead and create, Ehee gave them a foundation, not of fear, but of freedom.
For me, Ehee is both a shield and a promise of freedom. I've learned that the ceremony ties me forever to the divine, giving me a sense of safety that nothing can take away. No matter what life brings, I know I carry this sacred connection, and I cherish that it allows me to shape my own future.
In a world where dehumanizing forces still try to silence and suppress, Newar culture rises like a beacon of hope. Its living traditions are not relics of the past, but powerful declarations of dignity, equality, and love. Here, gender justice blossoms, not as borrowed progress, but as ancient truth. Nurtured by generations of wisdom, the Newar spirit dares to dream of a world where every soul is free, every voice is valued, and every daughter stands tall.
When I see my granddaughter today, her school bag on her back, her smile bright walking with her friends, I feel a happiness I cannot explain. She is free, she is independent, and she has choices that we never had.